All right, we're here at the Empower Her Summit Media Day, and right now I'm sitting down with someone who truly leads by lifting others. With a strong background in financial services, she works closely with small business owners to help them grow, navigate challenges, and plan with confidence. As a business banker and branch manager at First National Bank and Director of Outreach and Engagement of EmpowerHER Summit, she brings a leadership style rooted in encouragement, high standards, and a genuine passion for helping people step into their full potential. Please join me in welcoming Victoria Hazlett to the show.
Hi, Heather. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Victoria.
Thank you.
I have a good friend that I grew up with. Her name was Victoria, but she went by Tori.
Yes, my volleyball coach was the only person who ever called me Tori.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I love the name Victoria. I'm so glad to have you on the podcast. I'm so glad to be here. This is my first summit experience, at least on the media day, as well. It'll be my first summit that I'm going to. So super excited. Yes. All right. So let's kind of jump in. We're going to talk a little bit about you first, and then we'll jump into some summit questions. When you think about your leadership style today, what shaped it the most in your early career?
That is a good question. Early in my career, I think the biggest advantage that I had was mentors and leaders who truly believed in me. Kirsten, she was one of those mentors. So
was she? Yeah, her and I talked about mentors. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she was actually my branch manager whenever I first started at First National, and she really took me under her wing and just kind of showed me the ropes and helped build my confidence so that I could be, where I am right now.
Well, I love that. And I think so how did you get her as a mentor? Did you ask her? Did she say you need one? How does that work?
I think everybody needs a mentor. I think it's incredibly important to have a good mentor in your corner. For me, my journey started about 3 years ago when I joined First National. I was a floating relationship banker, so I went to different branches that needed additional help, if they were short-staffed. I spent a lot of time in Somerset, which is where Kirsten managed at the time, and she just kind of recognized that I was willing to, go the extra mile. I wanted to advance my career. I was excelling in my position there. So she kind of asked me, what do you want to do? Where would you like this to go? And I explained that I wanted to take over my own branch someday, and she said, okay, we're going to make it happen.
I love it. And that is so important, and I think leaders, especially our audience listening today, asking, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to go? And if it's not even in that position, or otherwise you'd be wasting your time. Mm-hmm. And so would your manager, your mentor, or whoever.
Absolutely.
So it's such a key question that I think a lot of people don't ask.
Absolutely. I always make sure that I'm asking my team that as well, because, I see how it really shaped the trajectory of, my career with First National. So that's something that I'm always focused on with my team.
And you're aware of it, but because you had a mentor who also did the same thing.
Correct.
Right? All right. So how do you balance high standards while still making people feel supported and confident?
It's definitely a juggling act. I think consistency, we know what the standards are, want to hold ourselves to that and still making sure that we're supporting, asking questions, understanding what people need. I think the why behind everything really helps play a part in that.
Yeah. All right. What are some of the most common challenges you see small business owners face financially? I'm sure you see a lot.
We definitely see a lot. Probably growth. So depending on what it looks like for them in their situation, whether they're looking to make a purchase or expand their business or they need some kind of working capital line, just the means to do that, which I think is why it's so important to have a business banker who is familiar, who touches base with you regularly and understands, what your business really looks like day to day.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people don't understand the resources out there.
Yes.
And I know specifically, just from some of my background in various businesses, we had a go-to business banker, and you can set up a meeting, a one-on-one, and you can go through all the things about your business. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because you need to know all that information. But if they don't step in the bank and they don't make that appointment and they don't have a banker and they're trying to figure it out, they're cash strapped and they're literally living, would you say, week to week?
Yeah, in some cases, yes.
Yeah, and sometimes, unfortunately, going out of business just because the financing isn't there.
And I try to provide additional resources too. So there's a lot of different arms that we have in First National Bank. So even if it's something that, I can't handle on my side, I have a partner who likely can. And if I don't, I have a pretty wide COI base where I have people that I trust that I can refer these clients to so that they can get the support that they need. Even down to, who's doing your taxes for you? Who's your accountant? Or is your CPA planning for you for the future? Or are they just kind of, doing your returns?
Right. Yeah. And I think that's so key, especially with small business owners. There's just a lot of it is learned through experience and decisions, and sometimes really bad decisions.
Unfortunately.
But if you have the resources, and especially if you have a relationship, at a bank that can provide a CPA, it can provide, all those things that they were maybe unaware of, that, and also like refer, that's key too, right? I mean, the resources are out there, but they're not all great, right?
That's a good point. I have a lot of clients who, they do, ABC business. I have other clients who might need to utilize that, so I can kind of connect them and help grow their business in more ways than just one.
Yeah. So you're just empowering people all day, it sounds like. Your team, people that are coming in. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the EmpowerHER Summit. How did your involvement begin?
So I had kind of a unique start with the EmpowerHER Summit. I previously worked with both Kirsten and Sasha at First National Bank, and I got to witness the birth of the EmpowerHER Summit. So I wasn't on leadership for the first year. There wasn't a committee, so they were, behind the scenes. I got to see a little bit of that and them put it together.
Yeah.
I did attend the event last year, and it was amazing. I left, my cup was filled. I felt like I could kick down a door. I made so many good connections and just saw the impact that it had. So this year, whenever they had a unique opportunity for the committee and to join in leadership, I said absolutely.
And here you are.
And here I am.
All right. So your role is Director of Outreach and Engagement. What does that mean?
So basically, I am in charge of getting the word out there, talking with different businesses, looking for sponsorships, getting tables for a lot. We're seeing a lot this year of businesses wanting to send a lot of their employees to the event. So getting those tables at a discounted rate, they're looking to do that for their employees and give them a little bit more, give a little back, I should say.
Yeah. I love what you just said, just businesses that really want to send their employees. Are you reaching out to the presidents or the CEOs of the company, or are they kind of coming to you? How is that?
There's a little bit of a mix.
Yeah.
Being that I'm a business banker, I deal a lot with businesses, so I do have a lot of connections there, and most of them are really receptive and wanting to, contribute to this because they do know us personally as well.
Right.
So they're like, anything we can do to support, which is fantastic. We love to see that.
So are you seeing, and this is an interesting question, but I find it fascinating. Are you seeing a lot of male leaders send their women, and female? Is it a combination?
Yeah, it's definitely a combination.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's primarily one or the other. I think that especially if, there's one business, I'm not going to name them here specifically, but there's one in mind where he has primarily all women and he's jumping at it. He wants to get a table of 8 for his team. He wants to become a sponsor and see how he can help support, just to show the women on his team too that he supports them as well. And
I think that is truly special. I know I was on a panel a couple years ago, and I believe it was a CEO. I hosted an event, and he sent several women to the event, and I made sure to tell him how much that means to those ladies. Number one, as a CEO, he's a male leader, but also knowing that women do so well when they're supported by other women. They also do well when they see that their leader is supporting the needs that they need.
Absolutely.
So I think that's fantastic. And women succeed. Women succeed at work when they're facing, it's not always about work. When they're feeling confident personally, it falls into the professional, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I was actually just having this conversation, but I just posted something on LinkedIn, and it was about, I'm very avid in the outdoors. And I said, stop sending women to conferences and to training sessions. Send them on a turkey hunt.
Yeah.
I love that. Or send them on a kayaking trip, or send them something that they've never done, because they're going to come back different with confidence,
absolutely,
with different skills. They're having to figure things out. And I think that's so key. So I'm so excited because I know there's a couple new things that are added to the summit this year, that'll kind of fit in that category.
I was going to say, we have, so it's a retreat style this year, so there's a lot of added benefit, not just on the event day, but the day before and the day after.
Yes.
Me personally, you'll catch me doing the yoga.
You. All right,
I'm very excited for that.
I love it. Okay. What impact do you hope women feel when they leave the summit?
I hope that they feel just, again, have your cup be filled up, feel capable, feel supported, see what a community there is. I think there's such a beauty in seeing a room full of women who just genuinely want to see everyone succeed.
Yeah.
I think there's so much room for everyone to be successful, no matter the industry, no matter the competition. I think we do a lot better whenever we do have that support. So I'm hoping that everybody can find those people.
Yes. Oh, well, from what I've heard, they will. And I can't wait to see it. All right. So it's time for a little fun, and we call this Saddle Up Fast Talk. So I'm going to throw some quick choices and questions your way, and you're just going to say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Oh, okay.
Structure and routine, or flexibility and adaptability?
Flexibility and adaptability.
One-on-one client relationships or large group networking?
One-on-one.
Data-driven decisions or people-first intuition?
People-first intuition.
Corporate environment or entrepreneurial mindset?
Entrepreneurial.
Steady growth or fast-paced scaling?
I like fast-paced scaling.
Coaching your team or being in client-facing conversations?
Coaching my team.
Encouraging others or setting high expectations?
Coaching others, or encouraging others, I guess.
Yeah. Long-term planning or quick problem solving?
Quick problem solving.
Guiding new business owners or scaling established ones?
Scaling established ones.
All right, and let's go to that question. What's the balance there? What do you see most of? New business owners or like seasoned?
I see primarily seasoned. I do see some new ones.
Yeah.
And I like helping both. I think there is, a beauty in helping both of them. Whenever we have the established ones, it's neat to see, like, I like hearing their story. How'd you get started? Tell me the backstory, the challenges that you've overcome. Whenever I'm putting, say I'm putting a loan together for them, I'm telling the story of that loan. I love getting those details and really seeing them get to that next step.
Yeah. Discipline or empathy and leadership?
Empathy and leadership.
All right, Victoria, this is kind of your time to share with our audience. Is there anything that you want to share about whether it's leadership or business ownership or just even uncertainty about their next chapter?
I think I'll talk a little bit about uncertainty in your next chapter. That's something that for me, it's actually really funny. When I started at First National Bank, I thought, I'll just do this for a little bit until I figure out what I want to do. And I saw just the abundance of growth opportunity and the different ways that I could grow personally and professionally within the company. And everyone, continue to ask, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And still to this day, what's your next step? And I have no idea.
Right.
I have no idea. So it's okay not to know and still keep working in your position and working towards, growth. But it's okay not to know. And I see that a lot with my team where they say, I don't know what my next step is. And I said, it's okay. It's okay not to know.
Exactly. But for some reason, we're trained to you have to figure. I mean, I have a little mentee. She's 18 now. She's like, I don't know about this. I'm like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. You're 18. Yeah, you don't, absolutely. It's okay.
And it's okay to change your mind.
I'm on my fourth career in my 40s, okay? No one knows.
Yeah.
You're literally figuring it out as you go.
Yeah. One of my assistant managers, she really excels with consumer lending. And so she thinks that will translate really well into mortgage, which it will. But, we were talking recently and she says, I kind of see what you do. And she's like, I think maybe branch manager would be something too. So it's okay to change your mind. With experience, you're going to make different decisions and get different, opinions on things. So it's okay to not know exactly where you're going or what the next step is going to be. And sometimes it's just gathering that information and it'll all make sense in the end. Yeah.
And I think, again, you said something key. It's okay to change your mind. And I don't know about you, but when I see someone else that is kind of like a mentor or just like an influencer of some sort or had a big influence on my life and I see them change their mind or change their direction, I'm like, okay. Because you have something in the back of your mind, you've thought about it, but then you kind of see someone else do it and you're like, yeah, see, it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Victoria, for being on the podcast. I'm so excited for the summit and really enjoyed this.
Thank you. I appreciate it.